Hello, I am Girish Pant. I am making the series of my life, that where I born, how was my childhood, and so on. Later, where I traveled, what I have done, or my personal experience, and so on. And it will be in different chapters: chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So I'm making it on YouTube. It's my request. Please visit, subscribe this my YouTube and share it to other people. I will speak in English because this my series of my lifestyle or my life experience is public. Anyone can see. In between, I will speak my own language where I born in Garhwali. So in between, I may speak Garhwali, but I will continue for the public my English experience in English, where it's not very important that I should speak my present language in Europe. That's not important because I'm only making it in English that everybody can understand, and especially for the people of Uttarakhand that they can understand. ते यो चा कि मी अब अपनी बोली कि सीरीज बनाणु छो चैप्टर 1 चैप्टर 2 चैप्टर 3 इन करके तो या मम्मी यो बता लो कि मैं कख पैदा हूँ कन मेरो बचपन छो कद कभी न पढ़ी क्या मेरो एक्सपीरियंस छी भारतवर्ष को उत्तराखंड को और कब मैं देश विदेश गयो हूँ और वहाँ को मेरो थोड़ा तजुर्बा तो पहली लोग किताब लिख दा चा तो अब ये 2024 फरवरी में ना तो मैंने सोची कि अपना रिटायरमेंट का बाद में इन करूँ कि थोड़ा अपना जीवन की कहानी बताऊँ तुमसे सो आई वुड लाइक टू एक्सप्लेन यू in this my YouTube brief about myself. So here it comes chapter number 1. तो अब चैप्टर नंबर 1 में यो चा कि मी पौड़ी में पैदा हुए छो अप्रैल में ना और आराम से अपड़ू बचपन गुजरी प्रॉपर पौड़ी में लक्ष्मी नारायण मोहल्ला में स्वर्गीय श्री गोपाल दत्त जी पंत रिटायर्ड नायब तहसीलदार साहब की मी ज्येष्ठ संतान छो पुत्रों में मेरी 5 बहनी छी ने और एक छोटू बोला छे और हम ओरिजिनली राठी जा राठ का मेरे पिताजी को जन्म हुए जो बजवाड़ कालो बजवाड़ पट्टी वाली कंडार छो और फिर हमारी एक प्रॉपर्टी छे भरगिडी में बजवाड़ बटेगी 2.5-3 किलोमीटर तो बजवाड़ भरगिडी और पौड़ी 3 गाँव छे मेरा तो यो चैप्टर 1 में मैं सिर्फ यो परिचय देणु छो कि मैं को छो मैं पौड़ी में पैदा हुए छो मेरू बचपन बड़ो अच्छो गुजरी वक्खी मैंने नगर पालिका नंबर 5 में पढ़ी नगर पालिका नंबर 5 वो डमरू हॉल धारा रोड का सामने होंदी छे हमारी स्कूल और रघुनाथ सिंह जी हमारा हेडमास्टर भी होंदा छे और हम थे पढ़ाना भी चा तो 5 तक मैंने वक्त पढ़ी नगर पालिका में और वे के बाद में भर्ती पिताजी ने मेरा पिताजी ने मैं भर्ती करा दी MIC मैसमोर इंटर कॉलेज चोपड़ा तो ये मैं थोड़ा अब रिटायरमेंट के बाद अपना लाइफ स्टाइल के बारे में बताऊँ जो तो शायद तुम देवे अच्छे लोग लो तो हियर वंस अगेन बिकॉज लगी ये जो मेरी स्पीच या मैं गढ़वाली भी चल रही अंग्रेजी भी चल रही ये पब्लिक का वास्ते चाहिए सो it was Garwali and now I'm talking in English because my video is open for the public all over the world. My name is Girish Pant. I was born in Pauri. Is a district headquarter of Uttarakhand, Pauri. Pauri is a district headquarter in the time of the Britishers when the British people were living. And that time it was a part of UP, Uttar Pradesh. Now it's our own teeny, sweet, beautiful hill state in India. So in Pauri, where I born, it's the longest mountain range you can see in Uttarakhand, the longest mountain range from Bandarpunch towards Chokamba, Trishul, Kedar, Badrinath, and so on. From Pauri, in every house, you can see very clearly Chokamba and Trishul. They are about 6,900 meter or 7,000 meter high from the sea level. So I was lucky to see the mountain view from my bedroom. My father was a police officer and a revenue officer in the time of British Raj. He was qualified police officer, revenue officer, and because of his background, it has a very strong effect in my personality too. So when I went to in the 6th grade in MIC, Messmore Inter College, which is a Christian school, it's a very, very old. It's about 100 and I think 170 years old. Because at the time of the Britishers, the Mr. Messmore came from England, some Methodist evangelist, and in Uttarakhand, all over India, but in my state where I'm born, there are many higher education schools, and the best school are found in Dehradun, which is our capital of Uttarakhand. One of the best school of India are in Dehradun. So I was studying in MIC, Messmore Inter College, where my father, he has done his own matriculation in 1935. Those days, very few Indians was doing matriculation because we become independent, I think, in 1947. So my father used to tell me his experience while he was working with the British people. Those days, Elizabeth, England, the Queen, his son, George V, George Pancham, George V, was ruling the India. So my father used to tell the story because he worked in 1935 till 1947 with under the kind control and administration of the British people. So this is my little story where I born and where I was studying. Then from 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I study in MIC. After my education, after passing my intermediate, I applied for CPMT, Combined Pre-Medical Test, in 1972, but I was failed because I was very good in biology. So the zoology and botany, the biology was my interesting subject. But when I failed, then suddenly I changed my mind because my second possibility was going to engineering because I was very good in physics, chemistry, and mathematics in my intermediate. Then I applied for diploma in engineering and I passed it. And my specialization was hydroelectric, electricity. And I became a hydroelectrical engineer in 1977, just in the beginning. So when I was studying my engineering, I was very interested in local activities like Garhwali, Uttarakhandi, songs, music, dance. But outdoor activities was very deep in me. I was doing trekking a lot from the age of 12 till 19. Because my father was a revenue and police officer, so he has to go to inspect the villages. So often my father used to take me, and he was very much fond of trekking. Those days, the roads was not ready to reach for inspection of the village from here to there and there to there. My father was having a peon with him, and he used to do trekking from this village to that village. It may take 20-kilometer walk. So I was used. So I become with my father a kind of a good trekker from my teenage. Later I climbed few peaks, not the snow peaks, but the few Himalayan peaks like Uttarakhand is a beautiful hilly area. So I was just going to the peak, sometime 3 kilometer high peak, sometime 5 kilometers, sometime 2 kilometers, sometime 10 kilometers. So it was the lower Himalaya where I have felt very strong energy and a vibration because many spiritual gurus or master from India, they were coming for meditation in the caves of Himalaya. So this is my childhood story, a little chapter number 1, which I explaining you that I find myself by birth a tracker, and later I become curious to know more about mountains and mountaineers because I realized that in my birthplace we have beautiful mountains, but the mountaineers was the Japanese, Germans, Italians. And I wonder in that small teenage from 12 to 15 that they are our mountains located such a beautiful Himalayan peaks, but the climbers are why Europeans? So this was my question, a curiosity inside me. And that has led me that today I am living from last 38 years, almost 40 years soon, in a European country. Because my curiosity has forced me that I should get out from this country called India. I will not be successful here. There, I will only be a rich. All my friends in my age today are very, very rich because as I was diploma engineer, they were diploma engineer. So now they are same age like me, 67. They're retired because in India you get retired in the age of 58. So here in Europe, we get retired in the age of 68. Almost 10 years later, we get retired. So all my friends are really rich. They have a house, they have a car, they have a money, they have a wife, son, grandchildren, great life, they have servants. But my life has changed different because I have left that country, India. And the force was when I was watching my mountains in my teenage, and I only see the mountaineer was from Europe. So I couldn't understand that we born as a mountaineer and the Europeans are coming and climbing our peaks. What is this? So that force has lead me that I want to leave my country and see the Europe. That those days I was thinking that Europe is so wonderful and beautiful, and there will be sun shining, and there will be very warm, because I've never been there. But now, after living almost 40 years, I realize here in Europe, everything is expensive. It's a frozen, it's a dark, frozen, and cold country. I feel sad and I miss still Uttarakhand or India. It's true. But I have no choice to come back because now in these 40 years living here, so many changes has come in my life. For example, I never married an Indian woman. I have no children with an Indian woman, which is very important for Uttarakhandis or Indians to get married in their own country person. So I'm changed now. I was young, curious, energetic, and somehow I reached to Europe. Then find some girl and stay with her without a thought that what I'm doing and why I came to Europe. I came here to explore for 1 month, 2 months to see the world of Europe and clean my misunderstanding. But that misunderstanding has created a huge misunderstanding, and now I find myself locked in Europe. Because I have a family here. Then I find a girl. We marry in the court because she was Christian. I was a Hindu, the son of a priest, Brahmin, high caste from Uttarakhand. So that time I was blind. I was blind. I don't know what's happening. But now, when my hairs are white, bear is white, I'm already soon in 68 or 70. Now I'm realizing what I've done. So I decide after my retirement to explore my life series not by writing because I have no time and enthusiasm, and I'm not good in writing. I'm very good in talk. I'm a talkative personality by my childhood. So I decide now that after my retirement, I start making my serials. Like this is number one, to tell people who am I, where I born, what is the purpose of my life, and what happen if I will die, where I'm going. So these are very Indian Uttarakhandi spiritual question because my roots is a Hindu. My roots is a Hindu. We believed in law of karma. We have believed a principle of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And that's why I'm in Europe. I'm a research scholar. I don't need to go to do my research under a kind control with some professor and making the notes of 500 pages and give those 500 pages of that theory to the professor and then prove that I am a PhD scholar. No, I'm not like that. I got experience. And that's what I'm doing now after my retirement. It's my first day, and I hope you will enjoy listening me. So please subscribe my channel, share my channel if you want. And now I will continue my lifestyle series in different my YouTube channel. This is the first introduction. In this, I will explain everything to you, time to time, what comes in my mind. And I will talk not from my mind, I will talk something from my heart. I will tell the good experience of India, of Uttarakhand. I will tell the bad experience of Uttarakhand or India. I will tell what I realized after living 38 years in Europe, what's good in Uttarakhand, what's good in India. Same, I will explain you, not from my mind, but from my heart, my experience living 38 years in European Union. What's all about Europe? What religion is here? What kind of good things I realized here? And what kind of things has made me very unhappy and sad? All experience you will now listen almost once in a week. It depends on my feeling and my mood. But I will come sometime 10 minutes, sometime 15 minutes. It might be I'm just in a good mood and I can tell you 1 hour experience. I will tell how is Europe? What's the big misunderstanding Indians are having? Even today, I was having big misunderstanding in India that Europe will be paradise, sun will be shining, food will be so cheap like in India because no one told me there. No one. It was total misunderstanding. Total misunderstanding. Here people are dying. It's a cold, frozen, dark world. Things are expensive. A cup of tea in India or in Uttarakhand will cost only 10 cents because our money is European Union, is a euro. In 10 cent, a great Indian chai, Indian tea with masala. Here you get in 3 euro, and that's not a chai. They just boil the water, and there is a paper bag, and you put that bag and you consider it's a tea, which is only smelling the bag. But in India, now I realize when we make tea, Indian chai, we boil the water nicely. Then we put milk, let it boil again. Then we put fresh tea, chai, no bag, no tea bag, it's paper. It will smell the bag. And then let it boil till the tea is merged, involved in the hot water and milk, because Indians, they love tea with milk and honey and ginger and few masalas. So you see the difference. I was totally confused. My mother has never been Europe, so how she can tell me why you are going to Europe, my son? My father, though he was a well-known police officer and revenue officer, but he couldn't say anything, no, because they realized that I'm very curious and I'm watching the mountaineers, and I was successful trekker in India, walking 20 kilometers every day in the age of 14, walking 40 kilometers every day in the age of 19. I was a trekker, and then I followed the mountaineers. So That's why I am making this my experience in a different series of India experience, Uttarakhand experience, and now after 38 years living in Europe, what is here? Nothing, nothing. Most of the foreigners I see in these 38 years from Asia doesn't matter. They're from Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Philippines, Thailand, all Asians. They are not happy. Why? I tell you the reason. In India, we believe, unfortunately, that every foreigner, white skin and blue eyes, a European, speak English. That's a big misunderstanding because they don't teach us in our schools. And I was one of the victim in India. I was one of the victim in India who was thinking that in Europe they speak English. No, 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 no. Because I met different national trekker and mountaineer. Naturally, they have to speak English because English is the international language. So I was thinking, if at all I will go someday to Europe, they speak English. No, it's not true. I realize in Italy they speak Italian, in Spain, Spanish, in Russia, Russian, Ukrainian, German, they speak German. Poland, they speak Polish. Estonia, they speak Estonian. Holland, they speak Holland language. Denmark, they speak Denmark. Sweden, they speak Swedish. Norway, they speak Norwegian. Iceland, they speak Iceland. And in Finland, they speak Finnish, and so on, and so on, and so on. It's a very small. Whole European Union is smaller than my India where I born. Can you imagine? I didn't realize that 40 years ago. I didn't, because they don't teach us in our schools. Parents didn't tell. Father has never been in Europe. Mother has never been in. So from where I should learn it? But now, when I'm in my 67, 68 age or 69, whatever you say, living almost soon 40 years, I have right to tell the people that don't be victim. India is a good country. Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, all Asian countries are good. At least sun is shining there. At least we eat spicy food there. It's a spicy food word. A Indian thali in Europe, if I go any city of Europe, it costs between 12 to 15 euro. Whereas the same thali in Asian country, doesn't matter Pakistan, Nepal or India, it costs only 1 euro or 1.5 euro, less than 2 euro. See, can you imagine? Can you imagine? But I just don't understand it. Why in our schools? Okay, if parents are not so educated or they didn't travel in Europe, but why, I ask the India government, why they don't teach that Europe is not the dream anymore. It's dark, frozen, cold, expensive, language is difficult. The culture habits are different. It's a Christian world. It's not Hindu's word. It's not Muslim word. It's not Buddhist word. It's not at all Sikhi word. Though people all over the world, they are visiting and trying to settle in Europe. Like I have never think to settle, but I was young, curious, who came by mistake, and by mistake now I am the victim who's living here. Why I say victim? Because I miss India. That's why I'm saying victim. But I have no choice to go back because my bacteria in my stomach has changed. I cannot digest the Indian food in India. I will be feeling dizzy or the digestion problem. It's naturally. I have lived here. And then my wife, from white skin, European culture, Christianity, my children. So everything has changed now in me. But what I can tell people honestly, and I'm honest here, that please understand before you leave your country and try to move Europe. It's dangerous. You really soon or later will cry. You need to be really strong and smart that you survive. Like I'm strong and smart because I still love my Uttarakhand. I still love my India. That's the fact. That's the power which lead me to live happy life here. I'm not involved very much in Europe. No, 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 no. I'm living here. It's okay. I have nationality. I have my passport from European Union. I have a right to give the votes if there is election of the president or prime minister because I'm a citizen. I can buy the house, I can run the restaurant, and I'm happily retired. I have all benefits, but my heart is still attached in the sweet mountains of Uttarakhand. And in this life, I tell you frankly, honestly, by God, that in this life, Uttarakhand, India will be in my heart. And that's why I decided to make my voice book, I mean, in YouTube, different series to entertain you by my true speech. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth and fact. Europe is expensive. You will be very lonely here. People are not so civilized like we believe what is civilization and civics or civilized. Here you could be very lonely. You can live in a house where there are 30 families, but you can realize that I have lived here 5 years, and those 30 house people, they will never say to you, "Good morning, have a nice weekend." No. Here people are living with cats and dog. They're very lonely themselves. They're isolated. They're divorced. Their mother, father are divorced. Love marriage doesn't stay for long here because it's love marriage. Today you love a woman or a man, you get married, make 3 child, but that doesn't mean that you love whole your life. My experience living in this European Union, if I met 100 people till the time, among 100, 99 are divorced. Doesn't matter after 2 years, 5 years, 3 years, or 10 years, but they are divorced because they consider love, and love is changing in Europe. Today, you love this girl or this man for 10 years, then you see the same face for 5 or 10 years, and then you find a new woman or new man. And who suffer in this whole story of love? The children. When you make 3 child, 4 child, 1 child, then the child is 5 year old, 4 year old, 8 year old. And when it comes divorce, the woman find new man and take that baby with her. Or vice versa. The man find a new woman. The woman find new man and take that baby with her first love affair. So who is suffering? That baby, that innocent baby. So this is the reality and the real true story of Europe. Being a Uttarakhandi, I know we take care of our mother father. My mother died in the age of 98 in Pauri. My brother, Mr. Prem Pant, who is a government prosecutor, is a lawyer with 25-year experience and very well known, renowned lawyer in criminal. But my brother and his wife, who is a teacher, they take care of my mother till she die in a very, very old age. And same story goes to my dad. My father was very old, and his last breath was in the house. And my brother, Mr. Prembala Pant, advocate, he take care and his wife. I salute my brother and his wife, that they take care. Unfortunately, I couldn't visit every week or month, but yes, as long as my mother father was alive, I was going from Europe almost every year or every second year to visit them. So, what I'm trying to say, we don't believe in any old age system. But here, because children are divorced, they see their parents are divorced. So, the broken families are very much in Europe. We live in ego, but that's false ego here. Very huge ego. Very huge ego. That's why I'm making my experience that my video will be for public. That's why I'm saying in English that people can listen me all over the world. Now I'm going to talk little bit in my own language, which is Garhwali from Uttarakhand. तो ये मेरा लाटो राजू बोर्ड जो है ना, तो मैं बताऊँ जो कि मेरी वीडियो देगा ना, और मैं ना अब यूट्यूब में अपने तजुर्बा एक किताब मानू छो मैं, लेकिन यूट्यूब में वॉइस बुक मतलब यूट्यूब में मैं अपने सीरियल मानू छो सीरीज। तो ये मेरे वो पहलू सीरीज च जहाँ मैं बताऊँ छो कि यूरोप की क्या हालत च, दयनीय हालत च, बड़ू दुख और चिंता को भी है कि तुम तो ये पता नहीं चलू कि यूरोप कद गा महंगो च, यख लोग अजय बात ही नहीं करते ना, क्या था कैसे फुर्सत ही नहीं भाई ना। तो यो मेरो एक सीरीज को पहलू दिन च, अब मैं धीरे धीरे यो अपनो एक्सपीरियंस बदलो। आई विल टेल एवरी डे my experience in my voice book. Voice book means, yeah, YouTube series number 1, Wikabat series number 2, then so on, number 3rd, 4th, 5th, and it will continue. It will continue. So I request you personally, very humbly, friendly, that kindly subscribe my channel. This is my channel, Raju Boda from Uttarakhand, and share it as much as possible, because I want to tell the people that please don't misunderstand. Love your land where you born. Love your land. Enjoy the sun shining. We don't have sun shining. We don't have at all. We have to eat the vitamins every day. Vitamins. We go and eat. We go to the food shop and taking vitamin D, vitamin B. In Uttarakhand, in India, in warm countries, you have bananas. You have mangoes. You have papaya. Respect your country. Respect how beautiful sun is shining. There is much, much, much. Land is very fertile. You can grow what you want. Here, land is cold. 6 months is a snow. Land is very ugly and dirty. You can't grow anything here. So I want to open your eyes. मेरे लाटो मैं तुम्हारी आँख खुलूँ चो कि अगर बर्फ पूरी रह दे, खेती बाड़ी कुछ नहीं होती है। अरे हमारे एक अनार चिनूना, चोला चिनूना, कुमानी चिनूनी है, जुंगारो चो, कोदो चो है, क्या नहीं जो हमारे एक ना, अबड़ा गो हमारा, अबड़ी बोली बोला, गड़ोली बोला, कुमाऊनी बोला, जौनसारी बोला है। Speak your mother tongue. If you are a Garhwali, speak Garhwali. If you are Kumaoni, speak Kumaoni. If you are a Jaunsari, speak Jaunsari. Love your Uttarakhand. It's one of the paradise in the earth. Because I have experienced it. Because I am from Uttarakhand. I am one of the victims. But I have no choice. But at least I can tell the truth. I don't love Europe, honestly. I don't. That's why I'm making these kind of videos. But I'm living here. Yes, I have a right to live here because my nationality is from Europe. And I would like now, because you see, if I've spent almost 40 years, so I don't want to take any more risk. I don't want to walk 40 kilometers in Himalaya anymore. I don't want to be mountaineer anymore, because now I need to see my age factor also. But I am warning you that if you are a young, energetic, love your Uttarakhand, love your India, love your Pakistan, love your Bangladesh, please, please think 2 times before you come to Europe. Here you will only feel loneliness, emptiness. Nobody talk with you. Nobody talk, and people are mentally disordered here. Mentally sick. I have never seen such a mentally sick people what I see in Europe. I mean, I'm surprised from India, from Himalaya, from Uttarakhand, 28, 29 years old girls are coming to Europe for research and they're earning 10,000 euro in a month because they are highly educated from the Uttarakhand or Indian university. But here, European children in the age of 30, they are mentally sick. They are mentally sick, totally. They are doing suicide. From where this mentally sickness comes? Do you know? Broken family, there is no love in them. They live with dogs and cats. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So this is my experience. This is my experience, and I have right because we have a freedom of talk. And my experience. This is the most beautiful part in my speech. I am telling my experience. Maybe someone has a good experience. That's their problem. That's their problem. I'm living here because I have 2 sons with a European woman, and I love my son because Indian father is always Indian father. So I do not want to come back and live rest of my life in Uttarakhand or India or anywhere because otherwise I will miss my son because I'm a good father. I'm an Indian father. So here you will enjoy my talk. I know that. I'm very social, I'm very talkative, and I'm not talking bullshit. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Europe is dark, cold, frozen, expensive, and people are not so friendly as we Uttarakhandi and Indians and Pakistanis are. Because I'm not from Europe. I'm not from Europe. I'm from Uttarakhand. So I'm comparing in my video series of YouTube, I'm comparing what was my life in Uttarakhand, how we people are, how social, how close we are with the family, how strong ties we have with our relatives. And then I'm telling the other side, where I'm living in Europe, how lonely, isolated, and broken people are here, living with cats and dogs. Cats and dogs. Not very socialized, not very civilized, not very talkative. It's a different culture. I got a culture shock. ते मेरा लाडो यो राजू बोड़ा जी यो आज पहलू चैप्टर छो अब आणो रोल में नहीं बोल चलू दूसरो चैप्टर अच्छा God bless you and with love and light it's Mr. Girish Pant, Mr. Raju from Uttarakhand.